The cabin lights of the late-night flight dimmed softly as the plane cruised high above the clouds. Most passengers had already fallen asleep, their heads leaning against windows or pillows as the quiet hum of the engines filled the air. In seat 12B sat a young woman named Emily, a single mother whose life had been nothing but a series of exhausting battles. In her arms were her twin babies, barely a few months old, wrapped carefully in soft blankets. Her eyes were red from sleepless nights, her hair slightly messy, and her hands gently rocked the babies to keep them calm. Traveling alone with twins was never easy, but this journey meant everything to her. It was a chance to start over in a new city where she had been offered a small job opportunity. Next to her, in seat 12A, sat a sharply dressed man in a tailored suit. His name was Daniel Carter, a billionaire CEO known across the business world for building one of the largest tech companies in the country. Yet tonight, no one around him knew who he was. Daniel had purposely chosen an economy seat instead of his usual private jet, hoping to escape the constant attention and simply travel like a normal person. At first, he noticed the young mother struggling quietly, trying to hold both babies, adjusting their blankets, whispering softly to calm them. One of the babies began to cry, and Emily's face showed pure exhaustion as she tried to soothe him while keeping the other baby asleep. Daniel watched silently for a moment, then gently spoke, offering to help hold one of the babies so she could rest. Emily hesitated at first, embarrassed and unsure, but the kindness in his voice convinced her. Carefully, she allowed him to hold one twin while she adjusted the other in her arms. The crying stopped, and the cabin returned to its peaceful silence. Minutes passed, and Emily's exhaustion finally took over. Her eyes slowly closed as she tried to stay awake, but her body had reached its limit. Without realizing it, her head gently leaned onto Daniel's shoulder while both babies slept quietly. Daniel froze for a second, surprised by the unexpected moment, but instead of moving away, he stayed perfectly still so she could rest. Looking down at the sleeping babies and the tired mother leaning on him, something stirred inside his heart, a feeling he hadn't experienced in years. For a man who owned skyscrapers, luxury cars, and endless wealth, this quiet moment felt more meaningful than any boardroom victory. As the plane continued its journey through the dark sky, Daniel began wondering about the story behind this brave woman. What struggles had she faced? How had she managed to stay so strong while raising twins alone? Little did he know that this small act of kindness on a silent flight would soon change both of their lives forever. Sometimes destiny doesn't arrive with loud announcements or dramatic events. Sometimes it begins with a simple moment, one tired mother, two sleeping babies, and a stranger's shoulder offered in kindness. And what happened after this flight would leave everyone shocked. But before we continue this incredible journey, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you never miss powerful stories like this one, stories that remind us that even the smallest moments of kindness can lead to life-changing miracles.